The skeleton. Yeah, that is a big skeleton. You could put that on your porch and have candy in there. And look, they have a wooden skeleton hanging here. That's really neat.
I like the pumpkin.
Yeah. Normally they only have these at Christmas.
I know, that's cool. I like the little costumes.
Is there anything down there?
Yeah.
They have lots of these witches. They're very, very popular this year.
I like her.
Oh, with the white face? I like this one better because she's older looking.
Yeah. She's just kind of goofy. Like her too.
This is Martha Stewart. This thing right here.
Small version.
I have that one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I have him. I bought these last year. No. This one's different.
Yeah, because I thought they looked like Cuphead.
Oh, that's cute. Who is that made by? Cynthia Rowley. I think
Isn't that the one that does the house? That's moved to house in the... No, that's not her. You know what I'm talking about? That does the craftsy stuff.
Yeah.
That's not her.
I don't think so. They got more of those. I love the dessert plates.
These are 4 dinner plates.
Oh yeah,
It's
they're
a
like
heavy-
Day of the Dead. Look at this. This cake
Oh.
stand. Oh, that's cool. What is that in there?
A little bubble, but I would assume it does something. No, you know, because it always sits at the bottom, so it's not like it moves around. I like that. I think you have that one.
I do. I do.
These are poured up a little bit.
I know. I was gonna say I do not have this
Or
one
that pink one.
or the pink one.
Or whatever you want. There's a cat with it.
Look.
Oh, that's another fox one. That makes you feel them without crack. Yeah, I didn't know these were portobello.
Yes, there's just a different shape, but I like the shape of
The big round pocket cup.
yeah. And look at these. Those are so cute. Oh, and look, they have a skeleton hand. I love those pillows.
Looks cute.
Not, I like the witch one. We've seen it, yeah, we've seen it every week, but I love it. They have some Mickey Mouse. Those look like some Halloween, but they also look like Thanksgiving too over there.
A lot of this looks baby.
Baby stuff.
Look.
Oh my. This is neat because it has these have cutouts. It smells so good down this aisle. Yeah, I'm smelling, that's exactly what I'm smelling. Oh, it smells wonderful. This one's called Full Moon Burnt Caramel. I think that's what I'm smelling. Oh my gosh, Kevin, you need to smell this. You'll love that. Oh, I love that. Vanilla pumpkin. That burnt caramel smells incredible. You'll like it.
They really smell
When you're burning them. Yeah, smell that burnt caramel. This one right here, DW Home.
That's a black currant fish. There's a black currant. Look at that one.
Oh yeah. Okay, watch Kevin. This,
It is pretty good.
I knew you would like it.
Sugar.
It smells like sugar, yeah. No, what is it? Oh, cool.
And it's apple.
Oh, it's
It smells
apple.
really good. I mean, that smells like a tart.
Oh, it does. It smells like a fresh apple. That's neat.
I don't like the
I know, and you could keep that and put it out all the time. That's neat. Oh, the little girls.
little girl witches.
That's cute.
Skeleton.
That's very cute. They also have dog costumes and people costumes. They look pretty much the same. They don't look much different. The dog costumes and the people costumes. That's adorable.
I don't understand the avocado.
The avocado, yeah.
Fairy costume.
How much does that cost? It's on
$25.
$25. That's not bad for
Halloween
20.
costume. It's
No.
got wings and everything.
Yeah. So they all have all kinds of like hand towels and hand washes and stuff like that. And then down here, they have some sheets.
There's blood orange, vampire's blood. So
And I saw some other sheets too for Halloween. So, and those look like shower curtains down there at the bottom.
oh yeah, they do.
I think those are shower curtains.
It's called rotten apple.
And they even have a Mickey Mouse.
Black tulip.
Yeah, shower curtains. Yeah, shower
it's the
curtain.
fabric. Though.
Yeah. And then down here on this end cap,
Hand towels? Yeah, hand towels.
they have hand
We bought
towels.
those.
Yeah. I think ours says spooky or
I
something.
think that would be practical.
No, I think that's for show.
That's cute.
Yes, it is. And it's fuzzy looking.
But see, they got all kinds of orange ones. Wicked. And
I found some of my
these are
mugs. Oh, there are socks in there. I found some of my cups. I want you to look at this cup. You'll have already seen it, I'm sure, in a haul.
that one and this one.
And I already own that one. So I've gotten several cups. I saw that here last week. It's like a game mat. It's an Alice in Wonderland game mat with a bunch of different games on it. So they have some Halloween stuff up here too. Little gnomes, cats. They've had a lot of pillows, but I haven't really shown you the pillows because I think I've shown you the pillows in past vlogs.
It looks like they just transitioned.
Yeah. So this stuff's in the checkout. Little towels, but then they also have stuff over here. Actually, a Liquor Barn Express. I had no idea. You know, like in England, they have like a Tesco Express. I had no idea there was a Liquor Barn Express.
It's near UK campus. So.
Yeah, we're right near the University of Kentucky campus, so I'm sure they get a lot of business down here. I just didn't know that existed. This is a neat looking place. It's called Bear and the Butcher, and it's just really cool looking. We've never been by here before to see it. And then they have a place over here called the Beer Trap, and it looks like they just literally sell all kinds of beer. I've never seen this before. This car was in a wreck, and so they have this Band-Aid over the door, and I just think that's so cute. Kevin spotted that. They should have those for a lot of cars. I don't know where you'd be able to find one of those. So we're at Culver's and we're waiting in line. And this Culver's, it's a different one across town, and they give you a Post-it note with your number. So you stick the Post-it note outside your door until they come and bring you your order. Instead of, normally it's a plastic
hang tag.
Yeah, it's a plastic thing that you hang outside your door, and so this is just a piece of paper that they can throw away. We've never had that though anywhere else we went. I can't name one other restaurant that gives you a Post-it note to stick to the door, so I just thought that was something different and new to us. Today, instead of going to Joella's for chicken like we usually do on Saturdays, we went to Culver's, and so we just got some fries, and we got root beers, and it was like $9 for just 2 fries and 2 root beers. But we're running behind. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and so we didn't want to eat too much, or we wouldn't want dinner tonight, so this is all we got. We're in Meyer. Are those the Squishmallow brand?
Yeah.
Oh, Squishmallow brand. So they have a spider, they have a pumpkin, and then they have a fortune teller, which is cute.
Yeah, cat.
And they're just now starting, see, they have their back to school stuff here, but over here they're just starting to get their Halloween stuff out.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
You got a little half mask too.
So I can show you some of the stuff. That's scary looking. I can show you what they have that they have out. They have costumes.
Oh, yeah. Bluey.
Oh, I see Bluey, yeah. Oh, there's another Bluey. There's a peach one and a blue.
Yeah, I think, yeah, one's the sister.
Oh, okay. Kevin would know that one's the, oh, I see. There's 2 of them.
I didn't know Blue was a girl until the kids were watching the set. It's like, I didn't know.
I don't pay any attention to that. And then they have little cups. These are cute.
Oh,
I'm magic, it says. Yeah, those are very cute.
When we get a road, that would be the time to get, because they sell out of this kind of stuff.
They do, yeah.
I didn't know this is just creepy.
Oh, that is creepy. Wow. Yeah, that's very creepy.
Ketchup and mustard ball.
So they have Minecraft, Ghostbusters, Halo, Avengers. Down there at the end, they have one that goes over your wheelchair, which is good. These are for your yard. There's your penitentiary. Yeah, yellow mustard.
Look, I have Ender Dragon, Minecraft. And Diamond Armory, Minecraft.
Yeah, they're $40, those costumes. It looks like they have some other stuff on the other side of here. Let me go over there and see what they have. It looks like some stuff too. These are for your windows. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah. Usually the stuff like that makes a noise, doesn't it?
Yeah, you must have it turned off.
What do those witches do? Do they do anything or just stand there? Oh no, they do something. Oh, on her arm. Good grief. I tell you who wouldn't like that. I wonder if Elmo actually sounds... That's like that little dog that I liked years ago. It was a white fluffy dog at Big Lots. Okay. Is he gonna sound like Elmo? That's hilarious. Those are the only ones they have so far. Okay, and then they have, look, they have Zelda.
Huh.
They have Zelda, swords, shield, yeah, Minecraft. Around here they have Harry Potter. Harry Potter. And then over here, they're gonna have makeup and stuff like that over here. Unicorn. Just put it on and be done, huh? Oh, look at this. Oh, that's Dreadful Doll Mask. That reminds me, oh gosh, look. What was that? Squid Games. That doll reminds me of Squid Games.
That's like, you ever Fallout?
Oh, yeah.
Old music and stuff?
Right. Pumpkin painting kit from Crayola. They have some plates and some bowls. Yeah, I think there's one more aisle here with some, maybe some little things.
What's that thing? You put that on a drill and it cleans your pumpkin out?
Oh, probably. Lid cutter, saw, and gutting tool.
Yeah, so you put that on a drill and it goes and cuts it out.
Refrigerator cover. Yeah, you could put that on your refrigerator.
Got like rotten food in it and stuff.
Yeah, a head.
That was a head.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a head in the freezer.
All these things.
Look, help me. I wouldn't want that on my shower.
That's heavy.
It's only $4 too.
Metal, too.
And there's another one that says, keep out undead inside. Never mind the dog, beware of the owner. And there's some lights here. Climbing spider. Okay, and then you have some pillows. And these are the inflatable things. Yeah, that's not a bad pillow. It's different. Okay.
Actually feels pretty thick.
But I haven't seen any candy. I was hoping that they would have some candy. No such luck. Yeah. Yeah, it might be on the other side first though. So if we see any, I'll show it to you. They have some really, really cool Lego sets in Meyer. They have the Infinity Saga. This is the Guardian ship, which is absolutely massive. It's $150 bucks. And then they have Lego Eternals Rise of the Damo. Anyway, it's huge. But then they've got some really, really cool. I love this Batman one up here. It's 80 bucks. But I love that, how you get to make like the inside, like with all the tools and everything, like the control center or something. I think that's really cool. And we've seen a bunch of Lego sets on sale other places. I think they're trying to get rid of some of like the Jurassic Park and stuff like that. And they've got a clearance here, but it's only 10% off. It's not like they're a lot. It's only a 10% sale, Kevin. Andrew and I had been talking about him toys for Christmas, and he was like, he had heard that there was going to be a shortage or something like that, and I said, I don't think so, because we've been in Target and we have been in Walmart, and they have more toys. They've gotten like an abundance of toys in Walmart and Target than they had all last year. So I really don't think there's going to be a shortage this year. And I truly believe too, though, that companies will say stuff like that to scare you into buying a lot of stuff. So I don't think toys you're going to have much to worry about this year. I really don't. But now this section at Meijer is always out. These are those cars. I've shown them before during a vlog. They're the green light cars. And they're always sold out because they're that nice. They're really nice. They're probably collectible too. So anyway, can't ever get those. They're doing this thing at Texas Roadhouse now where you can pay at the table. We had only ever seen this before in Hawaii at Yard House, and we paid like this at Yard House. So now they're doing this at Texas Roadhouse where you pay right at the table, and once you paid, it turns green, and you can leave your tip on there and everything. We have a box to open from Maria in Berlin, Germany.
It's heavy.
It's heavy. It has no holes.
Hey. Not attacked by mice.
It's
or rats.
It's not waterlogged.
Eagles. Whatever got on there.
It's not waterlogged.
Yeah, I couldn't detect anything leaking, so that's
it hasn't been stomped on by a stampede of elephants.
That's in pretty good shape, actually.
It looks.
To come from Germany, it looks really good.
Looks pretty good, Maria. Okay, Maria sends me this cheat sheet, and she says, "Still no heat cheat sheet." I like it that she called it that, because the last box she sent us, she made sure that she didn't put anything that could be damaged in the heat, because it still is hot here. Because the time before we had some stuff melt, because it is hot. Okay, so these are things that are safe. Hello, Tammy and Kevin, and all the rest of the Dunn family and friends. In this box, you will find, again, only items that are heat resistant and do not tend to melt easily. So, once again, no chocolate. Crying. The chocolate pile in my kitchen is still growing week by week. I hope you will have fun trying these items and telling your opinions on them to your nice and still growing community. One item in particular I already see in the dislike, in the dislike video, but I wanted to send it to you nevertheless, and maybe there will be also some item in this box to put in your favorites pile. Like always, feel free to share the leftovers. Thank you for your comment. She said, I love the effort that you put into your YouTube and Instagram channel. Greetings to your family, followers, and friends. Stay healthy and happy. Maria from Berlin, Germany. Okay, so the first...
I don't know if I can't get you one.
Okay, that's fine. The first thing she has on this sheet is 3 items for Kevin's Lunchtime Review channel, which it's always awesome when she sends Kevin something to review on that channel.
Sorry, I'm trying to get this box to stay down. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
So I basically just have to hand you.
Okay, there's 2 of these because I remember.
Yeah, there might be.
There's a yellow one or a pink one right there. It's right there. Yeah. Yeah, it's called Let's Popcorn. Let's Popcorn. Get it? Although Germany is not famous for popcorn, I had to think of you as experts to review this new brand. Okay, so it's air popped, made of non-GMO corn, and one is caramel biscuit and one is caramel sea salt. And I'll give you, of course, all the calories and stuff like that when we do the review. See, these are...
one bag we won't be able to try.
Oh no, did it pop open? Oh.
And it's like not a little bit popped open, it's a lot popped
It's a lot popped open.
They smell good. They smell like ketchup. No, that's what they are.
They were. They're ketchup. Yeah, they're the ketchup.
They smell, well, they smell good.
Yeah,
what we went
I mean,
over
like
for.
literally the whole bag is open.
Yeah,
The
if it had been a little bitty hole, we probably could have got away
we
with
would have done it. We've done that before, but literally, like the whole bag is open.
Yeah, and it laid against the box, so I can see chips down in there a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so
Probably not safe to try.
there's one more of these. There's a blue one.
This?
That, yep. She put that with these.
Oh,
That's
okay.
how she did it, and the kettle chips.
Oh.
So you did take them out all together. We have roasted and smoked almonds. We have peanuts baked with lentils and paprika. And then we have an elephant with pretzels, honey mustard, and onion.
They're
So
pretzels, but they're like, they're baked and squeezed pretzels. They're really thin.
baked, yeah, elephant baked squeezed pretzels, honey mustard, and onion.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Haribo.
Yes, yes. I don't know how she does it, but she always finds more Haribo. I think there was a lot because not only do you have these, but then you have those sticks.
There's three, two of
There's
these.
4 of those.
Okay, here's 3.
And then there's, I think, 8.
Let's
see.
There's another Haribo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm digging around the chips in here. But there's 8 regular Haribos. And you said there's one more stick?
There are 8 Haribos and there's 4 sticks.
Yeah, here they are.
Okay, let me tell you about the sticks first. You have cherry, a cola, a bubble gum, and the last one is blackberry raspberry. So one of those. And then for the Haribo, lots of Haribo.
Yeah.
There is a, this one, there's a lot.
Ice creams and cupcakes.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to find the names of them on here because there's 8 different kinds. We have a Happy Limo, which looks like a American one. It says USA style.
Oh.
Okay.
This is like animals, like elephants and hippopotamuses and
Crocodiles. Yeah. Okay. Oh, look at
This
that.
one's Crazy Jungle.
Look at that pheasant. It looks like a pheasant.
Yeah. Crazy Jungle.
Crazy Jungle.
This looks like ice cream flavors.
Anytime I hear about crazy jungles, not crazy, but jungles, I think of Georgianne now. Georgianne and being in the jungle.
Georgianne of the jungle.
Georgianne of the jungle. Okay. Cool.
They look
Ooh.
like ice creams or
They
popsicles.
do. They look like little popsicles. They're so cute.
This is coconut, but I don't know. It also looks like it's got either chocolate or licorice.
Yeah, it has pineapple. It has
Passion fruit.
passion fruit, a coconut. Yeah, there's a bunch of different flavors in there.
And this one's sour zoo animals.
Okay.
Oh, and these are chameleons. With
Oh,
little tails.
that's cool. And they're new. New chameleons.
Okay.
8 bags. 12 bags if you count the sticks of Haribo.
So
Okay,
crumbs
and then the
Mambo number 5. Is there only 2 of them?
Okay, no. There are 3. Oh no, there's 2 Mamba and
this.
1 Mayome.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have, and that Mayome are made by Haribo.
Oh.
So, I mean, they just make everything. So we have the Mamba Fruit Surfers and Mamba Magic Sticks.
So there's crumbs in these.
And then the Mayome has mango and watermelon is what's in there. Okay. I think you've gotten everything out but the one. Oh no, there's some other things too. Okay.
And here's these.
Okay, yep, 3 of those. These are puddings for us to make. Dr. Oetker dessert creams. We have a raspberry cream, a mixed wild berry, and a cheesecake. Okay?
So I'm knocking crumbs off stuff.
That's okay. There's and he is not pushing those into the floor.
No, the box is right next to
The
me.
box is there. Yeah, I didn't want people to think, boy, he's inconsiderate. No, that's going into the box with the other chip thing. These must be your lunchtime reviews.
Yeah, these are look like pot noodles.
Yes. Okay. I'm pretty sure you already had some of these. This brand.
Oh.
This is
Maggie?
the Maggie. Yeah. 5-minute mug is what it's called, but these should be new to you, she said.
Spaghetti with something.
With a creamy cheese
Cream
sauce. There's
macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
And something in croutons.
Mashed potatoes and with roasted onions and croutons.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. And then.
Okay, there's some of these Brio bars.
Oh. Bio bars.
I'm sorry, bio. What is that?
You
Brio?
know, I don't think those are on here at all.
Maybe
No, they are. She put them with something else. Okay. She
What
put
are
them with this big orange box. That
This
one.
one?
Yep. Yes.
Treats.
Okay. I just completely just missed it. These are bio bars, and we have the Choco Peanut, and it looks like roasted peanut. These are
Cashew.
yeah. There's a bunch of these. There's 4 different ones of these.
Oh, are there 4? Because it looks like there's
Or
4.
I mean, 2 different ones of these. Sorry, 2 different ones of these. 4 bars, 2 different flavors.
Yeah.
And then we have the treats, and we have had that brand, yes, from the peanut company.
Is it a cereal?
That
Snack mix?
Choco.
Oh,
And,
cornflakes.
okay, so that is the Choco and peanut.
Yeah,
These
Choco
bars are okay. These bars are cashew and hazelnut. Okay, so I just had it mixed up, of course, because it's in German. Okay,
It's Erdnuss.
and then there's 2 more things.
Hold on. Okay, I've got these little cartons.
There's 2 of these. These are so cute. These are cookies, and they're in a milk carton, and they're Simpson themed. And so I think they're so cute. You have the classic and the cocoa. And I just love these. I mean, you could save these cartons if you wanted, and a kid could use it in their.
Oh, Homer's on one side and Bart's on the other.
Ah, okay. You know, we started watching The Simpsons.
You never got into it, did you?
Didn't get into it.
I enjoyed it.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad show. It really wasn't. But I'm a huge fan of King of the Hill. I love King of the Hill, Bobby. Love King of the Hill. And so for me, the Simpsons just, there was no competition there. Then there are 3 of these.
Yeah.
We have Manor brand. And we have more muesli. And then we have
Muesli is a cereal, right? Like
the granola.
flakes.
It's granola, yeah. We had some ladies from Australia on our bus trip when we went through Scotland. And they were using the word muesli. And they were like, we usually have muesli for breakfast. And we're like, Kevin and I are like,
Is that a brand?
what the heck is muesli? Yeah, we'd never heard of that in our lives.
Well, we didn't know if it was we thought it was a brand.
Well, I mean, no one here calls it muesli. We would say granola. We're going to have granola or cereal or oatmeal or, even porridge, you would say. But muesli is not a word that's common around here. And so, of course, now, that's been years ago, now we know. So this is 3 different items from Manor, and we love Manor. It's just a great brand. It's like the #1 wafer. #2 wafer would be Bortman, but #1 wafer would be the Manor, I think. Okay. Oh, and these are bigger than I thought.
Cakes.
They're bigger than they looked in the picture. She sends me these pictures, and they look small. They look really small in the pictures. You know what the size of these remind me of? Is those that Ashley and I used to buy in the baking aisle.
They're a little taller though.
They're taller, but the size package is the...
They were microwavable.
Yeah, they were microwavable cakes, and you could get either one big one or you could get 2 mini ones, And I think we reviewed them on the channel. I'm pretty sure we did.
I don't
And
know if
then
they have any
I know they quit making the mini ones.
Yeah, I think they have a couple of the bigger ones.
I think
the brown
maybe.
ones, yeah.
But these are baked fresh in an innovative packaging and immediately after baking, airtight sealed. The company has made the cakes shelf stable for more than 6 months without any preservatives. Well, that's a feat. The newly developed bake and carry packaging is really endurable and perfect for takeaway. Non-GMO, no artificial flavors or sweeteners or colors or preservatives, no trans fat. You just open the lid and put the cake upside down onto a plate.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like you don't cook it. Like it's...
Oh, I thought it said put it in the oven.
No, she said it's already baked fresh and meant to last for 6 months. So she's literally saying you open it
here.
and
take a knife, run it around the edge, put a plate on it, flip it over, you're ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
So there's a nougat cheesecake, Jamaican something.
Jamaican Breeze and poppy seeds cheesecake.
Yeah, poppy seeds.
Yeah, and that Viva, we have had Maria send us one of their classic bars, and they are absolutely awesome. Wonderful, wonderful bars. So thank you very much. Every single thing was perfect except for the
one bag of chips.
The one bag of chips.
They did smell really good.
So, if you're interested though in these, like these remind me of like pot noodles or something like that. If you're interested in these, then Kevin will be reviewing those on his Lunchtime Review channel. Are you going to do one at a time?
I usually do because they're usually pretty.
If it's something that's like lower in calorie, he doesn't mind putting some together. But if
like
it's
little egg bites things, that are 200 calories for
but if it's like a full calorie package, which it is, he just tries one at a time because he's eating that. I mean, he's going to eat the whole thing, and he doesn't want to eat 3 whole packages. So, but thank you very, very much, Mario. I'm so glad everything arrived okay, and you can breathe easy.
Yeah, well, I lost one thing.
Yeah. So I've told you all many times I listen to a show called The Burt Show, a podcast, and it's on the radio too. And they've had several conversations that I thought were, I mean, all their conversations are interesting, okay? But ones that I want to bring up with you all and Kevin, because Kevin hasn't heard these. This woman wrote into them, sent them an email, and she said that she's been dating a guy for 2 months. And he one day he went out for something and left her in the apartment. They're his apartment, like so they're sleeping together, whatever, staying over at each other's places, and she discovered a door, and the door had a lock on it, a metal lock that requires a key. And so she asked him what was in that room. Somebody just pulled out in front of us on the road.
They're going slow.
Well, I think she's 200 years old, but she's going like 10 miles an hour on this road. Anyway, don't you just love that? They pull out in front of you and then they go slow. Anyway, she asked him what is behind the door, because requiring a lock that has needs a key, and he wouldn't tell her. He wouldn't tell her what was behind there. So the question was, should I be suspicious? Would it sound completely stupid to say, if you don't tell me what's behind the door, I'm going to break up with you? Should she expect to find out what's behind the door after only dating him for 2 months? So what do you think?
I don't know. If he's kind of, if you like him, he wouldn't be that creepy. I was gonna say, if he's kind of creepy, I would jokingly probably say, "You got bodies back there," or something like that, and just see what he says. It might just be storage, but if he doesn't have roommates, then why would you need to lock it?
Exactly, and he doesn't.
Or if he's worried about somebody coming in, like landlords or something. I don't know. It's just
okay. I'll tell you what their guesses were. First of all, Kristen and Mo said the first thing you think of is are there bodies back there, but that would smell, so there wouldn't be bodies back there. Then
no, but you could have memorabilia from your murders.
But that's true.
You could have your collection.
You could have
room.
a shrine.
Yeah, you could have your
gosh.
collection room with their ears or something.
Oh my gosh. And then Bert said, or they could have a fetish.
That's true.
They could have fetish stuff. But then they had a police officer call in, and Bert said, what if that's their grow room?
Yeah, but you can usually smell that.
The police officer said, he said most of the time when somebody has a room like that, and Bert also, I think, guessed guns. He said, what if he's into guns and doesn't want
but
you
you
to
would
know?
tell that.
Exactly, you would think you would. But the police officer called in, and he said most of the time when people have a lock on the door like that, he said it's for their grow room, their money, their all their supplies and stuff like that is hidden behind that door. So my opinion is, if it's been 2 months, you are being as intimate with this person as you can be with anybody else.
Yeah, you should know about them.
You should know about them. You have a right to know about them. If you are sleeping with someone, you have a right to know these things, because that is the most personal thing you're ever going to share with anybody. And so for them to be like, I don't know if I'd break. Yes, I would break. If he was not willing to tell me, then I would break up. That's red flags. That's not right. And I bet you anything, he's growing drugs. He's into drugs.
Yeah.
Coming out of Walmart, that reminded me, Kevin read an article. It was so interesting about the self-check at Walmart. So you said that if they suspect
that you're stealing,
that you're not scanning all your stuff at the self-check, tell them.
They can hit a button on their little handheld, and it'll basically pause your purchase, and it'll look like there's an error of some kind, like something's not working right, and then they can take it all out and rescan everything.
And that has happened to us once before.
And whether it was on them doing it or just it really did mess up.
Or it really did mess up. Yeah, we don't know. But Kevin read that and I was like, oh my gosh, that has literally happened to us, where they have said, we're going to have to we'll just scan them by hand.
This is not working. We'll have to scan it by hand.
And they've done that. But I had no idea that they might have suspected us of stealing something. Little do they know how funny we are about that. But yeah, that's very, very interesting that they have the power to do that. I mean, that's great.
Well, it doesn't call you out either. It just makes it look like the machine's messed up.
Exactly. They're not accusing you of anything.
But they're going to manually make sure everything is scanned too.
Yes, and that way you can't steal anything.
I noticed with us today, like I scanned 3 things and put them in the buggy.
Yeah.
And she came over and said,
walked
"Are you
over.
okay? Everything okay?"
Yeah, she walked over just there.
But you know they're looking in the buggy when you're doing that.
Yes, so they're getting, which I'm sure they've had to get more involved in that process. They seem to be like, almost like they're hovering. What is that bird that...
Vulture.
A vulture. Yes, it seems almost like they've become vultures. It's like, I know they're staring at us the whole time.
But if you do self-check, that's...
Right, but it's like, is it really that much? Are they saving that much money? If they're having to get these people watching anyway, wouldn't it be, I don't know, it just seems like they could get them to check you out and it would just be quicker. Save everybody a lot of time. But anyway, not that we have a problem self-check. That way you don't have to deal with anybody. I thought that was interesting though. On the Burt Show, there was something else that they talked about. And I think this is going to surprise Kevin, because it surprised me that this was a thing. They wanted to know, they were talking about germs and carrying germs and stuff like that. And they said a lot of people don't believe in sitting on the bed in their outside clothes. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard that before, yeah.
I have not. I did not.
I've known people that come home and immediately change lives.
Okay. I think it depends on what kind of a job you have. I think if you are a in the hospital.
Any restaurant.
Yes, if you work at any restaurant, any fast food place,
Stores.
anything with food, I think you should immediately change clothes when you get home. I think if you are a nurse, a doctor, any kind of caregiver for other people, you should definitely change your clothes when you get home. For us, when they said that, and this is how funny some people are, we went to Walmart. These are my outside clothes. They were literally saying that they believe we picked up so many germs at Walmart. Now, it's not true. It's not.
Oh, it's not.
No, well, no. I mean, they said a kid's backpack has a lot of germs. They did say a kid's backpack has a lot of germs.
Well, they said those everywhere.
Let me tell you what. I never knew that kids' backpacks had germs. Andrew and Ashley, do you think that I cared the whole time they were growing up where that they set their backpack or whatever, and we were fine? We're living now. They're fine, healthy adults. We're healthy adults, and their backpacks were all over the house. But anyway, I did not know that it would be like a major no-no for me to go to somebody's house and like sit down on their bed in these clothes, because my family has always done that. My sister would think nothing of coming over to my house and sitting on my bed while Kevin looked at her taxes on the computer or something. I mean, that's just how we do things. And I would think nothing of going to her house and sitting down on her bed in my clothes. But now, and Kristen acted like for her, like this would be no big deal. But now Mo acted like, you don't do that. He said, you do not sit on that bed in your outside clothes. And then there's another person that is on there. To me, she's not really part of the show, because she's not like in the radio station and on the show all the time. She's just kind of on there at sometimes, but she was real funny about it too. She's real funny about germs, and she said that would bother her. But
it just depends on how you're raised.
I never knew that was a thing. Now, it's different to be like, once the bed's made, we don't sit on the bed. I understand that. You don't want to sit on the bed because you don't want to mess it up. That's fine. This is very specifically, I don't want you to sit on the bed because your clothes might have germs. That is a different level. I've not heard of that. Something else I wanted to bring up was Brent contacted me about the winner of the hers. If you'll remember, Joey sent us the 3 varieties of hers. There was like a Whiz Wit, and there was a Long Hots, and then there was the ketchup one. It was called like 215 or something like that, special sauce. Okay, my favorites were the Long Hots. Do you remember which ones were your favorites?
One was like cheese whiz.
I'm thinking yours favorites was the Whiz Wit, the cheese. I don't know. You might have said anyway, the Long Hots are the ones that won.
I think they were too hot for me.
They were. They were the ones that I liked. They had a jalapeno flavor, and those were my favorites, and those are the ones that won. And somebody told me, I might not remember exactly, but the winner of the contest got like $10,000, and then it seems like they got to donate, have a donation of $10,000 sent to their charity of choice or something like that too. And so I mean, it was really neat. That's a neat way to do a competition. But I'm glad that I picked the winner. I finished the book Revenge by Tom Bauer. Malcolm sent this to me from Wales, so I was able to get a good start on it. I believe, it is my opinion, that every American really needs to read this book. I think a lot of Americans in particular are in the dark about this story. I think that you see these 2 people coming from the UK, and they have created their own story, and the story that they would want you to believe. And if you haven't been following the news in UK, if you don't follow along with that stuff, then you might totally believe everything they say, hook, line, and sinker. And I knew better because I have been following the story, and so I know better. But this, people say they like receipts. Tom Bauer has receipts. He interviewed over 80 people. He says in the United States, Canada, Britain, and Ireland. Anytime he's giving you a statement, there's a little note, and it tells you where you can go to see where he got his information. There's a little number, and he makes note of where his information came from. This is just, he mentions a lot of people in the book that it's interesting that wanted to ride on Meghan's coattails and become really good friends with her because of her marrying Harry. You are absolutely, I don't mention a lot of stuff like this. I don't like to mention when I like somebody, when I don't like somebody, because my goal is for everybody to be able to come to the channel and it to be a happy place and for us to all get along with each other. That said, I think everyone has a right to their own opinion. And if you are absolutely head over heels in love with Harry and Meghan, I respect that. That's okay. I don't have, that's fine. That's you. You're allowed to have that opinion. And so I'm also allowed to have that opinion. So I don't like to talk about a lot of stuff like this though, because I have had people unsubscribe to the channel for something as silly and trivial as I don't like a singer as much as they like a singer. You like this singer, but I don't care for the singer. Okay, I'm going to unsubscribe to your whole channel and basically cut you off. Basically cut you out of my life completely because you don't like this singer or you don't care for this actor or actress. And I'm like, seriously? Seriously. And it's like these actors, it's not like, but just because they're your favorite singer doesn't mean they're your best friend or anything. It has nothing to do with anything. Just because I do not care for these two people, they're not in my life anyway. You know, they're not going to be around me. They're not going to affect me at all. But I think that people, the reason I think Americans should read this is because I think people, especially with social media these days, you have a tendency to believe everything you see. You have a tendency to follow all these celebrities on Instagram that are, every single picture they post is edited. I mean, edited as much as you can edit a picture. And everything that they say, you believe everything that they say, and you follow them and think that they're wonderful. And that's a problem. That's very problematic because you just can't believe everything that you hear. So I would urge you, like I said, all Americans, if you are one of those people who respects people that can give receipts, that can show where they got their news, their stories, what happened, the way it happened, and it's not just from these two people. You know, you're hearing 80 different people gave interviews. This is the book you need to read, and I think if you have one opinion, it'll probably change your mind, because this is a very very upfront, honest look at what went on. So I want to thank Malcolm very, very much for sending this to me. I appreciate it. I definitely could have gotten into the nitty-gritty of this, but I won't, because I want this channel, like I said, I want this channel to stay a place where we get along. And some people just, they aren't good with dealing with different opinions than their own. I've always liked different opinions than my own. I've always thought it was interesting to have friends who don't necessarily believe the same thing as me, because it's like, it's really nice, and it's kind of refreshing to be like, oh, I never thought of it that way, or what a positive way to look at things, or that's just so to me, I think that's really cool. But there are some people who cannot handle somebody having a differing opinion from them at all, and they want to only surround themselves with people who believe the same things they believe. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the week. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back here next week.